Yes, guys, we are back again. Episode 4. We have one of the brothers. We were so excited to do this one, and I'm going to give a shout out to the bro, Paul SHOWTIME Fleming, one of the greatest, I think one of the best boxers we've had come up through this country, personally, but I may be biased because he's my coach now. But Paul, thank you for coming on, brother.
Man, appreciate it. Thanks for having us, man. Looking forward to it.
Peach, how you doing, bro?
I'm good. You had one of the best entries I've ever seen going into that. But what fight was that?
That was on the Tim Zoo card, and then he fought the dude from NZ, and then Mark Hunt and
Sonny Bill.
Mark Hunt and Paul Gallen fought.
Oh, yeah.
They were the fight before, after me. So I was.
Have you seen it?
Oh, wait, was Nookie one of the boy, bro?
Nookie.
Yeah, I know Nookie.
And Kobe D.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
that was
them
mad.
boys,
yeah, I've seen the walkout.
It went viral. It went off. And
What goes like, bro? I get goosebumps thinking about that because I link back to my heritage as well with all that stuff. But especially you Indigenous boys, like, how does that feel, bro? Walking out to that.
Yeah, it's emotional, man. It's because I just think about like our family. Like my mum was 11 years old before they passed a referendum, and before that it was like apartheid here. So the same sort of stuff as South Africa. Like you couldn't congregate together, you couldn't practice culture, you couldn't speak language, you couldn't eat at the same places, you couldn't do the same things. So look at the progression from my mum to what we're doing now and able to do, and to think that Peach, myself, and Trell and all the boys, Adokar and Mundine and all these guys have been somewhat part of bridging that gap and changing the mindset, and that it's an emotional thing. And you know, I just look at mum, man. You know, mum went from that stage not being able to do that things to watching her son walk out in front of the whole world. That's like right. That. So yeah, it's an emotional thing, but I love it, man. I love doing that stuff and spreading the culture, and yeah.
For us, like I didn't learn Shake a Leg until I went to All Stars, because we moved away from culture. So we moved to Cronulla. It's like a white community, not many Aboriginal people there. So going to All Stars to learn how to do Shake a Leg was daunting. But now it's common. All the boys, they get a circle and they make it more appealing and make the boys feel good if they don't know how to do it, and teach them, which is cool. Like it's mad now. Like it's everyone can shake a leg in All Stars because we do the dance before the game, and I think it's special.
I've seen like even like Geordie Grant, right? That was his first All Stars game.
Yeah.
And he's only now connecting to his heritage, and he goes, bro, that was one of the most emotional experiences I've ever been. And he only found out about his lineage like recently, and he's so connected and involved, and he's done the photo shoots with Dane and stuff, and he's absolutely like, he's found like a different part of his life and a spiritual part of his life that he's so connected with now. And yeah, bro, he was the same. He was like nervous and shit, and I was like taking the piss out as you boys do. But he goes, nah, once the boys like you just said, they get you involved, they make you feel comfortable in that. He goes,
yeah, it's mad. They're the best camps, those All-Star camps, and like being around culture like that, walking out, it's sick.
That's the same as me. Like I always grew up knowing I was a black fella, but never being super connected with it. Yeah. You know, it was mum's Aboriginal, dad's a white fella. And, you know, it was only in my later life, and Joey Williams kind of helped me into it. Yeah, Joey, me and Joey are very close. And
old NRL player. He played Rabbitohs, played with my uncle, and then he went into boxing.
Yeah. And that's how I met him, man. Was we trained together, and you know, he's had his issues, and he talks about it. His addiction and all that stuff, and how culture was a big thing that helped him kind of find himself and, you know, fill that void inside. And, you know, a lot of men struggle with that sort of stuff, and he talks about it a lot. And culture was a massive thing, a massive part of him finding himself, and kind of pushed me in that direction. And then, yeah, I had 3 kids at the time. Now I've got 6, but I had 3. And
wow. My bro active. My bro active, getting snipped.
Everyone said, when they announced me, they're like, Olympic boxer champion, this artist. And I'm like, first and foremost, I'm a breeder, man. I'm the breeder, bro. But yeah, it was something that I wanted to give my kids, is that connection to culture and that. And, you know, for us to even be here and have Indigenous round and, you know, have Indigenous jerseys and Aboriginal education officers in schools and all that, there's been a lot of sacrifice. A lot of Indigenous people have gone through a lot, and, you know, it's kind of a sense of pride being able to represent when they weren't able to.
Yeah, right. No, that's scum, bro.
And Indigenous transport companies. Number one Indigenous transport company in Australia, Nana McKay.
and I have the only Indigenous tier 1 scaffolding company
Yeah,
in
you
New
spoke
South
about that.
Wales. Yeah,
Congrats, bro. Let's go.
You know,
What's it called?
Yaga Corporation.
That's mad.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And that's a spin on, so the correct pronunciation of, you know, hard yakka.
Yeah.
Well, it comes from a tribe in Brisbane, and the correct pronunciation of it is Yaga, not Yakka, and Yaga means strenuous work.
Wow.
So Yaga Corporation is hard work, strenuous work. So yeah,
Bro,
we do.
that's gone.
We do, yeah, bro. So
Yeah.
we do all the big high rise. We work for land lease, multiplex, like all that.
There you
sort
go,
of
bro. There's another side job for you.
stuff.
Yeah.
Let's connect.
Let's
bro.
go. Get on the tools, lad.
That's it.
That's it.
Oh,
And
yeah,
your
so,
boxing gym?
yeah, hard. And the gym.
And yeah, and the boxing gym. Yeah, we got the gym out at Warrington there. You've been coming down and having
Bro,
a
I love
lash,
it down
right?
there.
So
You got to come train with me, this guy.
Yeah.
The way this guy holds pads and like gets you through the session is, you know, like I grew boxing growing up, sorry. That's just next level with Paul. Because he's like been there and done it. When you're in training, bro, you don't get a time to switch off. And bro, I'll be going back every week now.
I think I'm done.
No, come, train.
Finish on top.
want to know, baby? Want to know?
I don't know.
Me and Floyd Mayweather.
How did you find that experience of fighting? What was that like
it
compared to
was-
boxing? What was the training like? Like, what was your outlook on it?
So I only did it to lose weight for preseason because if your skin folds are too high, you just get pumped all preseason. So I trained a little bit, but I can still come back heavy. So I still got pumped anyways, and then got through preseason and I was pumped to do it. Found out who I was fighting. Bloke was massive, like big Fijian lad. And then, I was scared shitless walking out there. Had my missus, my cousin Derek, my brother and his missus. They were the only ones there. I didn't invite anyone else. I was too scared. Like, if I got knocked out in front of everyone, I would have been
Just hoping
rattled.
to train. Didn't get the
So
invite.
I did it, got the win, and then, I was pumped. I didn't sleep that night. I was just fired up. Like,
What do you think it's like compared to playing footy? The emotions and
different. Because you probably, with boxing, you feel comfortable because you know what you're doing. So with footy, I'm comfortable. I know what I'm going into.
Yeah.
With boxing, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know if I was doing it right. Didn't know anything. Got punched in the head, rattled me for a bit. And the whole thing, I was just scared. I didn't want to get knocked out in front of anyone and
yeah.
end up getting a win. And, I'll do it again, definitely, at the end of the year, hopefully, and see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, nah, like whenever people ask me about my fights, I don't even remember them. And it's not because of concussion.
Is it just instinct?
It's like a fever dream.
Yeah.
It's like it just goes so fast and you kind of, but when
Don't
you're
hear
tired, it
anyone,
goes
eh?
slow. Yeah.
You just
like you
in
don't
there
hear
and-
anyone. Everyone's got, like, it's like, you know, when you're in a dream where you
Yeah.
can hear but not hear, and everything, you can see people but you can't see their faces, and it's kind of
Yeah.
like, you don't even, you know, the crowd's there, but you just, it's
It's like
weird,
that
man.
clip in Creed 3. They edit it and it's like they get rid of the whole crowd and it's just Creed and the bro who's fighting and it's just
Yeah.
empty and it's like he was trying to explain that, like what you were
Yeah.
saying. It's like just you and your opponent and that's
At my
it.
one, there was about 250 people. So
Yeah.
What it sounds like. I could hear his cousin going off. And
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine doing it in a massive crowd or...
It's but I don't think it changes much because
Yeah,
it's
You're
the
so
same.
zoned in.
Yeah, you're so zoned in and you're so focused in on it, and like you don't even know the crowd's there, and it's only afterwards that you like look around when they're announcing you the winner, and you kind of
Yeah, that's mad.
come down a little bit, and then you look around, you're like, oh dang, there's a lot of
See
lot of
family
people.
and shit.
Yeah,
What's the biggest fight card you fought on then?
I fought on some big ones. I fought on a couple of Tim Zoo shows. I fought on Sonny Bill's one where he fought Barry Hall on the stand
yeah.
show.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
fought on that. I fought overseas a fair few ones. Olympics was massive when I
Yeah.
fought at the Olympics and that.
Manny?
Yeah.
Brother, when he told me that you
Did the Manny
fought
Pacquiao
under-
card, right?
under
Have you
Manny-
been on there?
No, I didn't fight on a many card. I
I
fought
thought
on
you explained to me the other day.
his name's Nanito Donaire, so he's a Filipino fellow, and I
Yep.
fought on a Filipino I fought over in Philippines on the undercard.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
So, and that was in front of, it was an outdoor tournament, and it was like
Like the kickboxing
35 degree. It was hot, humid.
Yo.
And there was 25,000 people there
Yeah.
in these grandstands that were like
Yeah.
that, like so steep.
Yeah.
And they were like rickety, rusty as, and it was outdoor. That's probably the biggest crowd I've ever fought in front of, like 25,000 people. Crazy. And Filipinos love their fighting, man. It's like their religion over there. Like they love fighting, man. And
You reckon like Tim Tszyu and his like uprise kind of changed all boxing in Australia? Like,
it's gone in waves. You know, you can't compare to the times of like Lionel Rose and Jeff. And like Lionel Rose, when he won his world title, come back to a parade in Melbourne of 50,000 people welcomed him home in the streets.
Grand final parade.
50,000 people welcomed him back. So, and then there was a stage where, you know, you obviously had Fennick, who's 3-time world champ, like three division, 3-time world champ. Like
He was WBC,
he held 3 titles in 3 different divisions.
Yeah, right.
And then like around them times, like he wouldn't have been able to walk the street. And
The original Zoo.
and then it kind of went down a little bit. I think Chalk brought it back too. What Chalk did.
Even Danny Green versus Roy Jones. I remember buying that fight with $50 I had for my birthday money as a kid.
Yeah.
And I remember that. Like that was iconic.
I think social media's changed it, but like now you can you build a identity through social media. Like back then they didn't have that.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, like we were talking about him earlier, Harry Garside. Like he's got a big following. Olympic bronze medalist going for another Olympics now, and hopefully changing the color of that medal. But like he's a star. Like he's in like on the normal on TV shows and stuff like that. So I think social media changed it a lot.
Is it hard for like a boxer to make it like the big money? Like is it hard to crack?
Yeah, I never did.
Yeah,
I didn't crack it. I think if you have a team with you from the start, directing you,
helping you do it
from the start. And I always tell people, they ask me and I'll go, you got to have someone in your team that gets nothing out of it but to see you do well. Mm-hmm. See, I never had that. You know, I never had I wasn't close with my family, so I had no one kind of directing me on what was best for Flemo.
Yeah.
You know, whenever you're making money out of something, your interests change. You're not doing what's best. And there were a few decisions that I not regret, because I wouldn't be here now. You know, I wouldn't have done what I done. I wouldn't have met my wife. I wouldn't have done them things if anything was different. So I don't regret any of it. But there's a few decisions that, looking back now, if I made differently, like I could have been a household name like these guys. I could have won a world title for sure. I could have won a world title.
Like, but like, we'll say Conor Benn a little bit different, because you remember Conor Benn was like training out here, PCYC and that.
It's a lot easier when you've got a family like that.
His dad Nigel was WBC, so
Nigel Benn is like
my dad's an English fella. When I was sparring at Blacktown, he come and watch, and Nigel was there, and to my dad, like it made his life knowing that I was sparring in front of Nigel Benn.
Nigel Benn was like, you know, and Chris Eubank.
Yeah, Chris Eubank and Junior.
Eubank and Nigel Benn had a crazy rivalry and a crazy fight. But like, they're like.
So that's what I was going to say. But like the English cards, like they make so much money though. How come it's not the same to Australia? Like why can't we match that kind of money? Or is Europe so much bigger? Is that what it is?
It's
and then Oceania's so small.
I think it's just the pool is smaller to pull from. Yeah. And it's not our national sport. You know what I mean? It's you know, not saying like boxing's massive in England. It's originated there. Massive. Boxing's massive in America. It originated there. Here it's just like, and I think it's the mentality of Aussies, man. Yeah. Like once you're out of the spotlight, no one gives a shit anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like Julius Caesar Chavez still can't walk the streets in Mexico.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
what's happened to his son?
He
lost a few fights.
Yeah,
Didn't he
he
lose
lost
to
a few
Canelo and that?
fights, and
And that's
he fought Anderson Silva in boxing, and Anderson
He
Silva
lost.
beat
I
him.
watched that. Yeah, true. But yeah, I get what you mean.
You
Because
know-
it's like
It's that Aussie state of mind.
But even
like-
every sport's similar. The only sport that pops is rugby league here.
yeah,
I feel anyway, and AFL of course.
yeah, AFL.
AFL is
yeah.
massive.
Yeah.
Like I've never watched a game in my life, but I know that there's absolutely
AFL's bigger than league.
100%.
They get 50,000 to a Friday night game.
every
where
game.
Yeah.
If we have a game at Allianz, it'll be 2,000 people.
But
there.
it's played all over Australia.
AFL.
AFL.
Melbourne is dominant, and then WA got
But like Western Australia, they don't play rugby league over there.
Oh,
Northern Territory, they don't play rugby. Like everyone in Northern
Yeah.
Territory plays. So and Tasmania, no rugby league.
Yeah,
hardly there.
right.
It's all
AFL team
AFL.
going there, yeah.
So like in Queensland and New South Wales, rugby league is
Yeah.
massive. But in majority of the other states, it's AFL, man. Like
Yeah.
It's insane, when you think about that. But yeah, AFL.
Wait, as a boxer, do you get like or do they get filthy when NRL players come into boxing and get like the big cash?
I think some do, but I look at it like this. Like a lot of the promoters get money and can put on these big shows because you got eyes. Everyone gets the shits about Jake Paul. Logan Paul, Logan Paul.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's bringing, like, you're going to knock the dude for wanting to make money? Like, and look at the guys he's putting on his shows that are getting money, that are getting fights because of him.
Yeah.
So that's the way I think about it. Like, I fought on Paul Gallen. I fought on two football players undercards, and the fights most likely wouldn't have happened without them. I don't think Tim would have got to this level if without Gal bringing in the revenue, because Tim is a household name now, but at the start he wasn't.
Yeah.
So I don't think he would have got. He probably would have got there, but I don't think he would have got there in the amount of time that he did without Paul Gallen generating that money on the undercards and on the cards. So
when he went from Dragons to boxing, like that was massive, eh? Like was
that
that
was
a big
massive.
deal?
So Chock is the only fighter in history to have every single one of his fights a main event pay-per-view.
What?
Only fighter in history to have
Done
every
it
single
perfect.
fight
Like
in his career.
He knew what he was doing,
yeah, he
That's what
portrayed himself as that
the
character.
villain, eh?
He is the nicest person I've ever met.
Everyone always asks me that.
Yeah.
Everyone always asks me, like, because they've seen me with Chalk, like seen me in photos with him and that, and they're like, "What's he like?" And I'm like, "He plays the villain." I go, "You go to the fights and you won't even know he's there. It's not like he's in the back chilling, quiet, and then and every single time I've seen him, no matter what he's doing, he could be talking to whoever, he'll just go, 'Excuse me, Flamo.'
Yeah.
Always shout me out. Always. I remember. So I was training. Remember Garth Wood, who won Contender?
yeah.
Garth Wood.
Yeah, that's it.
brother played NRL.
But he played Rabbitohs.
Rabbitohs.
He played
that's it.
Rabbitohs.
Yeah.
So I was training with Garth Wood because we were at the same gym when they were going to fight. I never remember this. I'll never forget this. And one of the other fellas that from another gym, I was hanging out with him. He goes, "Oh, I'm going to go spar. I'm going to go spar Chock." I'm like, he goes, "Come along." And I'm like, "Yeah, sweet." So he went to his gym at the block. So we're there, and I'm like, "Look, I don't want to come up. I'll just wait for you because I don't want to seem like I'm coming and spying for Garth, or like I don't want to seem like that. You know, I'll just chill." He goes up there. 3-4 minutes later, one of the fellas comes in. They go, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, Chock wants you up there now." And I'm like, "Oh," and they go, "He said to come up now." I come up there, Chock's warming up, and he goes, "Wow, what are you doing sitting outside?" I'm like, "Nah, I don't want to sit." "Nah, brother, your family, like you're sweet."
right.
That like, and I'll never forget that. You know, that's one of the first real interactions I had with him, and yeah, ever since then we've always been. Whenever we see each other, he's like, and I grew up watching him, you know, boxing from when I was a young fella, watching him and watching his fights, and he was, and being a proud black fella too. You know what I mean?
It
Like
wasn't common back in the day, eh?
Nah, man, and I think that's why he got a lot of hate too. And I think that's the same thing with Trell. Why Trell gets a lot of hate because they're outspoken black fellas, and there's a lot of prejudice against that.
Yeah.
They want you to, everyone's Aussie. No one can be anything other than Aussie beer drinker. But no, like we're a melting pot here. You know what I mean? So,
That's mad. And you also know another brother. It's Dane Laurie. How did you? Why are you
He's a
laughing?
king.
Right.
Well, you told me about some story, but we're gonna wait till the pod. What are you telling me? Like, I got something to show you of Dane.
All right. So my boys, right? They love Fortnite. They love all this stuff. My boys, proud blackfellas,
Yeah.
and they're going around saying, "You want to see some black magic or what?" Well, there you go. So there's a clip. If you go on YouTube, you can find it.
Yeah.
Of this black fella scootering, the young black fella comes up to the mic, comes up to the camera and goes, "You want to see some black magic or what?" Does some backflips and that, then scoots up the thing, goes, "Well, there you go." I was at the gym and I said this at the gym. I go, "You want to see that?" And one fella goes to me at the gym. He's a black fella. He goes, "You know that's Dane Laurie?" I go, "Bullshit, it is."
Yeah.
I go back and I watched it. And I go, "Hold up a second." Sent the video to Dane just the other week. I go, "Bruh, don't tell me this is you."
Yeah.
He goes, "Yeah, bruh, that's me back in the days." And I'm like, and I told my kids, and my kids couldn't believe that was Dane Laurie and that, you know.
Do you know
like,
about this vid?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Do you know the boys take the piss of like the piss?
Heaps of people asking about it, but he loves it.
Yeah, he don't mind.
He's a little freaky man. He's the best. He's
Yeah.
getting a new car too. He's getting rid of that green one.
Oh, is he?
He's upgraded.
Why? Why is he getting rid of it?
Why?
Because the video.
Getting rid of that
Nice.
Tokyo Drift. that little Bow Wow Hulk car.
He's upgrading. Dano, I hope you get a maddest car next time.
He deserves it.
Wait. So what was the go? Why did they give him that thing?
A little Spono car. And they just must have just.
Were they
wanted
having a
that.
laugh?
I don't know. I hope not. Find out who you are and I'll give it to you.
Oh, there's a boxing fight end of the year.
Let's go.
That's number 2.
Yeah, that's gone.
Yeah, we'll have to think about that.
Yeah,
What else have we got?
sparring stories.
Hey,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
we haven't even talked about my heartbreak. No, well, look, state origin, bro.
Oh, yo, we got two
So what
Queenslanders
are you,
here.
Queenslander?
We got J Mac
Born
2
and
behind the
bred, bruh.
camera.
Born and bred.
Born and bred,
Brother.
So that was my dream as a young fella before
origin.
boxing. Was to play because I could throw the ball around, you know.
Yeah,
I got player of the year for the Tully Tigers back in the day, up the river, up the Tigers. Bro, I got junior player of the year back in the day, but the growth spurt didn't hit me, and it hit everyone else. So I go, I'm gonna go punch some faces, and it turned out all right. But that was my first dream, was to play state origin for Queensland.
Well, you didn't want to be in that team last night, bro.
Bros.
I'm not happy Trail played good.
He played God.
There was a lot of there was a lot of talk about whether he was gonna come on and make an impact, and he said, does he have a vendetta against Reece Walsh, because he was throwing him.
Oh, he
was-
manhandled him that one tackle. That was,
but he pushed, like, there was a little bit of
Push and
argy-bargy
shove.
going on. But does that all go away? Like, so
yeah.
does that, like, if you're playing a game,
And at the end
does
of the
that
game-
and you're competitive against, like, you put a big shot on your mate, and there's that little, when you walk off the field, does it all like, nah, bro,
That game tightened like so much because you go into camp a week early. All week you're told like Queenslander dogs, like New South Wales are the best. Like, you know what I mean? Like we got red against Queensland, and then you get out there.
When did
80,000 people?
what one did
I
you
played at Melbourne the last time they played at Melbourne, 2018.
How was it?
It was mad. And
The
then
best?
The best.
Better than
Grand final.
better than what's did you played in the Indigenous round too?
Yeah.
So what was
Best
the
ever.
best? Was the great, so you got state origin, grand final, Indigenous round. Which one for you out of them?
For me, I think Origin. So grand final was up there, and I didn't even play. I was ANF man. So I think Origin, my whole life, I watched Freddie and all that. Joey Johns, like the goats, all go at it at Origin, and that for me that was the highest level. I got there in 2018. I went on tour for Australia as well, and that I think Origin for me was like the highest. Yeah,
Right.
because you work so hard to get there. The money as well is pretty good. You get 30,000 a game. So I got 30,000 to play 7 minutes. I played 7 minutes, and then 14 minutes the last game, and you still get the same money. It's
Wait, when Latrell, so it's because I was thinking we were talking about Latrell. Latrell gave you a shout out because your retirement stuff. He actually reshared the
Yeah,
post, but
yeah.
he's talking about the outside shot. Never try and run out my
Nah,
outside shot or
that
something.
story.
What is that about?
So it was that year, 2018. Trell Mitt was the best centre in the comp. Joey Manuel was the best centre. I was playing for Penrith. I was on the other centre, and Latrell's over there. I got the ball and I bounced across. And as I'm running across, I'm going as hard as I possibly can.
Is this an Origin?
No, just a normal game.
Okay, yeah, right.
Roosters.
Yeah.
He's laughing at me, going, "You're not going to get around me, Brett." Like, and I'm just like, what? Picks me up, like by the collar, jams me down, almost break my ankle, and I hobble off. I play the ball, and he goes, like, pick me up like a little kid, and just goes, "You're right." And then went into camp and told him about it, and he goes, "I can't believe you tried to get around me."
What was I meant to do?
Yeah, what do you want me to do? I'm not going to run straight at you.
I'm there to do that, bro.
Yeah.
Shit, that's the best.
Right,
Who's the best? Who's the best you've played with and against? I'm interested. I love.
No,
I
yeah.
love my
Nave-
footy.
100%.
Nave Cleary's number one.
The best you've played with
Yeah, definitely.
and against. Who's the best you've played against?
I played like with All Stars, GI, Thurston, all them as well. But Nath, because I've seen what he does during the week, like his professionalism is like you can't explain it. Like
So Nath, to me, he plays different to Thurston, but he's got that impact the same way Thurston does to be able to just change a game.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
100%.
Thurston was like, look in the grand final when against the Broncos, nothing going on, spins, turns, boom, and then create something out of nowhere.
40-20
He could,
in this inside now.
and I think they play different, but I think the impact, like in the grand final, nothing happening. He single-handedly put Penrith on his back and dragged him across the finish line with that goal.
even the little things like Lindsay's like celebrating. He's like, no, not done yet. Like that shit
he's a
G's me
freak.
up.
you know, in
Bro.
the game he has like this stare. It's like a shark. Like he's like tunnel vision. He's like he always says stay present.
Yeah.
like him and his dad.
Yeah.
and I noticed that, and it's after he said it, and like he's just present in every moment, which is cool. Like it's something I want to pass on to my kids, and when they do sport, like I've learned something from him. He's a legend, man. He played in that Origin. My first one, I think he was 19. So
Wow, he would have been young.
Yeah.
That's mad, but
So we're going to the decider now.
yes. Hopefully you're here so we can watch it together.
Interest.
Yeah.
Oh, it's different in Queensland. Like up
yeah.
there,
Yeah.
right?
It just looked to me like New South Wales were just
Desperate.
physical, man.
Bro.
They were throwing people around.
Like a vendetta, eh? Like,
Who's the guy?
Crichton.
Centre?
Crichton, yeah, Angus, yeah.
Crichton
Bro, the
was
hits.
pumped, bruh. Like, and usually that's Queensland putting on the big hits and like but yeah,
Bro,
New
even
South
Critter,
Wales-
man. Like,
Critter's the same as Nate too. He's professional.
Critter's
as,
off
man.
his head. He's so good, bro.
Freak.
But they all them boys, bro, like the Penrith boys, you can tell they've come from the same system because they have that hunger to win.
They're all that professional, eh? Like back in the day, no one ice bath. Everyone ate shit.
Yeah.
Like went and get on the piss every weekend.
Yeah.
Rock up Monday. It's normal. No one does that anymore.
Yeah.
Like they ice bath. They eat healthy. Doing yoga and shit on days off. And,
Except for Bizzo, he has 6 cans of Coke and KFC, right?
yeah, but he's
you
built
can get away with
different.
it.
But that's not-
Romy too.
Yeah.
That's my boy's favourite player.
Is it Biz?
Bizzo.
Yeah,
He's a legend, man.
He's my boy's favourite player, man. My third, my third. He's grown up here, grown up with the Panthers when they've been killing it. So he's like a diehard Panthers supporter, like diehard, and that's his Toto is his favourite.
Good role model, bro. He's the man.
Favourite player, man. That's
He's-
his favourite player.
He's a legend. I met his dad. Shout out to Debo, one of the Penrith legends. He's like built exact same as Bizza, got a bald head but just a bit thicker.
Yeah.
And I always tell Biz, I go, wait till you finish footy, you're going to look like your dad. Big Debo, he's a legend.
But it's going to be interesting. The next one.
So
It's
it
gonna
is
be
a
interesting.
different atmosphere up there, you reckon, Beach?
Yeah. Like, there's that many Queensland, they get pissed as day before. There'll be about 2 Blues jerseys there. Or there'll be the Black Shoes Blues, but they'll put them in a little corner. The rest will be all Queensland.
Red Hots.
Um,
I feel like the boys would thrive off that, but like back up against the corner no New South Wales fans there. Like, they've got a point to prove. I think, like, personally, even our boys from out west, like,
The media
Feel a
will
bit
pump up the
different.
Blues, but and then the Queensland will just turn it.
yeah.
They bring all the legends in, like GI, Thurston.
true,
They bring
true.
everyone in camp, and they'll just like it'll be them against the world, like kind of thing.
Well, we'll see what happens then.
He's a goat. He was a
Yeah.
freak, man. He's a freak. He's got the same build as Trell.
Yeah.
Who was your favorite player like back in the day?
Mango
coming up?
man.
Matty Bowen.
Matty Bone.
Yeah.
He's my favourite, bro. He's from up the top of Queensland there.
Yeah.
He was my favourite, man. He just appears out of nowhere, man, like he's shot out of a cannon. Like I loved his I loved
He's the
him.
nicest person I've met as well. Like
Yeah.
in All Stars camp, the third best ping pong player was me, Glenn Lydia, then Mango. But he's a legend. In camp, everyone froths on him because he's Matty Bowen, everyone's favourite player.
He's like that's what they say.
He boxed.
Yeah, he fought
Craig Gower,
yeah.
Penrith legend.
Yeah, he boxed him in that. But yeah, Matty was my favourite, man. Matty Bowen in that. I like JT, but I've flipped now. I was a Cowboys supporter because I was born up there and that. But now
Panther.
I'm a Dolphins, man. I'm going for Dolphins.
Fins
man.
up, fins up, bro.
I'm going for so my Aboriginal tribe's right near there, like
Right, fair.
inland from there. So
Yeah.
I'm like, and
That's
then
fair.
I met my missus up on the sunny coast, which is just around the corner from it. So, but how good's Hammersell?
Oh, he's a freak.
Quick.
You heard his shoulder, but
Yeah.
I saw that. Yeah, padding on it and that.
Question. I don't know whether it's just this year or not, but there's been so many injuries.
Bro, we were talking about this.
What is it?
I heard Matty Johns talking about it on a panel. In regards to leg injuries like hamstrings, quads and that, they reckon it's the boots, man.
The
The
boots.
scientific evidence behind it, and this is me getting real technical with it, is that the boots are made so light these days, they have no support and no give, so they're just trying to make it as light as possible for the athlete to feel like they're running on nothing, but the support's gone. Like we used to wear like Puma Kings and Adidas Copper Mundials when we were kids, like proper leather, kangaroo leather. They don't do that anymore.
I heard
what I heard.
Blake Austin and Isaac John talk about it. I reckon as well they're not running long enough, like during the week.
Oh,
Not enough fitness wise.
What's the you have to do a certain amount of sprints? Sony's talking to me about it before in judo. Like you have to do a certain amount of like explosive training for injury prevention.
Yeah.
And because the demand there is so much, like for training and recovery and all that, they don't get enough of that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of complications. but
Preseason
yeah.
shortened, the games are the same, and they just adding Origin, adding all these games in, and
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
they can't deal with it.
But you're right, bro. So many injuries, man.
I've never seen this year. I've never seen so many people out injured. Like every week, there's multiple over the games of the week. There's multiple
And some
guys,
gun players
and then
too.
some of them are like,
Some
Gone
people
for
just can't handle it as well, but like
well, how long is when's is Cleary coming back?
Should be
this
a
year?
few weeks.
I don't know, hope a couple of weeks.
Over a couple of weeks, yeah.
Wow, man,
And
that's
Penrith
wild.
still chilling, top 4. Imagine
Good
when
buzz.
he's back. Yeah,
freakish.
I kind of think like it can go either way, but like I thought, imagine if Cles was in that side, but then Moses played gun last night. Like imagine
he's
if
healthy,
Cles,
he's coming straight back in.
bro, but Cles in that side, that's a 60. That's a 60 bomb right there.
Yeah,
If
that
Cles-
second half would be different.
Bro, if
he's
Cles in
there.
the second half, I'm sorry, my brother Paul, but that's a 60 bomb, G. Thoughts? They call me they.
Listen,
We've got to
Game
be
three.
humble. We've
Yeah,
got to be humble,
true.
We're getting to, that's what I mean. The media will pump the Blues up. And
Yeah,
then
we're doing it. in.
Queensland will just come in and just go.
game 3 is where it is.
We'll see
like,
what happens. Hopefully, yeah, it's a good game.
But you know what? I just like, and people ask me too, the same thing with fighting, right?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, who you going for? Unless I know a person, unless I know him personally, I'm like, I just want to see a mad scrap.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
I just
like,
want to, fight.
I just
Yeah.
want to see a mad, I
fight.
just hope it lives up to the hype. Bro.
Bro,
And
my man-
that's me. I just want to see a mad scrap. I just hope it lives up to all the hype. That's it.
Do you miss the biff? That was like
Me?
Yeah, you or both yous. Do you miss? But no, do you miss the biff like being in the game?
I'm filthy, mate. I got sent off for doing a head.
A head tap, bro. I lost it. I was yelling at the fucking telly,
Mario's
going, "What
face
the
when he
hell?"
got sent off
He
was
just
that
went
funny.
like this, tap on the head.
Yeah,
I can't remember
nah,
what play it was.
That was the best part about Origin,
Yeah,
especially
bro.
Origin.
But if it was the other way
Origin.
around, you cop it you cop it as a New South Wales fan.
Listen,
here's what it is.
especially Origin, you just waited for it.
First
Yeah.
10 minutes,
Yeah, you just
The
waited
kickoff,
for
you're
it,
waiting for something to happen.
And then, I miss it. I miss
Miss
it.
like Gallen and that punching onto the field and
Yeah.
stuff.
But they've spoken about that, and they said if we bring fighting back for Origin, that's shit for normal games.
Yeah,
Like
right.
if they'd have let fight on there, the boys would be filthy.
They'll be scrapping every 2 seconds.
But that's
then-
why the
but
little
then-
fellas are so cheeky.
That's
now.
what you said before.
They're so cheeky because they know they're not going to get punched or pushed or anything. or
I'd
get
be
sent off.
I'd be the cheekiest.
Yeah, but that's
I'd
why
be
I
the
feel like it
cheekiest,
can
man.
go either way. Without the fighting, you kind of get more out of it because the bros can talk shit
Yeah.
without getting hit. But then, without getting punched in the face. But then, like Spencer Lanu, bro, come out of the line, bang, hit ya.
Really
Like
hard
that's the
grass.
difference.
Yeah.
That's what you get from no fighting.
What do you
The
reckon
bro
about
can
the
put a hit on.
HIA stuff? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's
It's
bad?
good. Like, I suppose if my kids play footy, I'd want them to be looked after. But some teams are taking like the mickey out of it, and if someone looks tired, say, "Oh, go down with a head knock," and then they'll go off, get a
Yeah,
free
right.
sub, and then the next bloke
Yeah,
comes
right.
on. So it's a bit crazy that way, and yeah, nothing we can really do about it.
I think about like how many HIAs I've had in boxing.
Yeah, well, tell us about that. Have you had any
Yes,
lows like with boxing?
With sparring and
Yeah.
stuff would be the
Sparring's
worst.
the
man.
worst, man.
Yeah.
Sparring's the worst for that sort of stuff because you get buzzed. Like
Yeah,
you get
heaps.
buzzed a lot because, like you're sore, you're not as sharp, you're cutting weight.
Is it like a gentleman's agreement? Like, say if I'm sparring you, I clip you. There'll be pricks out there that'll just keep going.
Yeah, you're supposed to pull your
and-
punches.
Depends on the
But
sparring.
hey, when you go
Yeah.
gym to gym, but different,
Yeah, it depends on the sparring,
What do you
but
mean- what
like
do you
so
mean
if
by
I'm
that?
if I'm getting ready for a fight,
Yeah.
if I'm getting ready for a fight, and I bring someone in for sparring to come, or they pull me over to their gym for sparring, it's like it's a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you want him to be as prepared. Your job is to prepare him the best for the fight, and his job is to prepare you the best. But the protection is the headgear and the bigger gloves.
What do you think about headgear though? I feel like I got more headaches wearing headgear without headgear. Bro.
can't see
Yeah, I
shit.
can't
I
see
noticed-
shit. All I'm getting is hit more because I can't fucking see anything.
You know,
I
I
think-
was sparring, you get clipped and it just goes over here. It's going.
I think it saves you getting cut.
Okay,
'Cause-
cut.
yeah, and I think, and as well the bigger gloves.
16 ounces all the time.
There were
mate.
16 ounces all the time.
Yeah.
You've always got 16 ounces on. I think that helps, but I think a lot of it too is like you don't want to get cut.
Yeah.
Like
I sparred down at Jimmy Tahuna's gym and they put me in there with this heavyweight.
Yeah.
And so first time I ever sparred in my life, I was in there, just come back from a Gold Coast golf trip. I was on the piss for 3 days. Come back rattled. And I was like, yes, jumped in there. And he had 12 ounces on and I had 16s and a headgear. He punched me and my nose was bleeding. And found out after that he was in the 12s. He goes, oh, sorry, bro. I almost quit. I almost come home, quit, and sparred the next day. And
Has-
went good and then fought.
imagine 8 ounces coming at you.
Is
then,
that what
bro.
you fight with?
Yeah, I fight
Bro,
in 8s,
even
man.
like I've been buzzed
What's
with
the
12
UFC?
ounces. They fucking hurt.
They're
They're
fours.
fours, yeah.
But supposedly, because of the way they're made, you can't make a
clean.
proper fist because
Yeah.
they've got that bar in there, and because it's
Are they
like
safer than an 8 ounce?
so. There's a DC. What's the UFC? The announcer fellow that fought
Dane.
John Jones and that
Daniel Cormier,
Cormier.
yeah.
Cormier talks about it, right? And he goes, more damage is done in boxing than MMA, and here's why. Because with MMA, you get rattled, you get dropped, you don't get stood back up an 8 count to
just done
resettle
there,
yourself. You get dropped a lot of the time. Someone jumps on you, punches you a couple of times, and then either chokes you. So you're not only getting punched, you're getting choked, you're getting wrestled, you're getting leg kicked, and all that stuff. So it's not continuous trauma to the head. Like you can get buzzed multiple times, and like buzzed, I call it buzzed. Like you get hit and you see
that the white light and then
you
it's got-
see-
yeah,
you see
yeah.
all the little sparklers
back.
going.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that can happen multiple times in a sparring session, multiple times in a fight.
When you think about it, bro, there's been a lot of deaths in boxing, bro.
There's multiple. I think there's. I read something the other day. There's like internationally, there's 12 people die a year from boxing.
And then UFC?
I remember here a few years ago, there were 2 Aussies that died in 1 year.
What?
Here, yeah.
What about the bare knuckle one?
Davy Brown and the guy from Toowoomba. I forgot his name. Apologies. Yeah, they died both in 1 year, man.
What causes that? Just
brain
bleeding.
bleeds, man.
So that's getting the 8 count and getting back, and they're still getting hit.
Yeah, but then sometimes I've seen stuff like, and you don't know what damage is done, like we said in the sparring leading up. You don't know what damage. You could have like a little bleed and then you get in the ring. And I watched something the other day, this fighter, it was only first couple of rounds, he had hardly even got touched. And then...
Is he just drop? I saw that.
No, they split him up. They
and
split him up.
and
Something happens, and then he literally turned. No, I seen this guy. They wrestle. They go to the ground. They get up. They split it, and then the guy literally they go box, and he literally turns to the neutral corner and starts.
Yes,
boxing
I have seen that one too. Yeah,
and then the ref comes in, grabs him, waves it away.
Did he die?
Yeah, he dies.
Oh,
man.
it's sad, bro.
So it happens, and that's why I hate the whole. When people like the amount of fighters that get ripped off and
you're literally putting your life on the line.
You're literally putting your life on the line.
Especially like so got
your
kids
brain and and it happens a lot, man. Boxing's the most corrupt sport on the planet.
Yeah.
And there's so much underhanded shit that goes on. And that's the thing that I don't miss about it.
Yeah.
I don't miss about boxing is just all that bullshit that goes with it. I'm glad that I'm away from it. It was starting to put a lot of... I did boxing and I do boxing to set up my life, to help my family, to better my family and that. And then I kind of thought, if it's putting more stress on me and making my home environment worse, then what am I doing it for? What am I doing it? Why am I doing something that's more detrimental to my family that's supposed to be helping my family? So that's one of the main reasons I stepped away from it.
It doesn't just happen in boxing. That's footy as well. Like managers will say, if I want to go to a top 4 team, say Melbourne, Penrith, my managers go, yeah, I'll go talk to them. But if they offer him $80,000, the manager's only getting 6% of $80,000. Where he'll go to the Bulldog, like someone at the bottom of the table, and go, oh, you want this player? If he's offering 150, then he'll have to take the 150 because he's not taking the lower one.
Because he's getting
more money of the thing.
So what's...
Well, it happens in soccer as well.
Yeah.
What for you, what's better? Going to what would you rather take the cut to go to a team?
I've done all of it. So I've been at Penrith. I'm here now for peanuts, like for a lot less than what I could get elsewhere. And I've been at the Gold Coast, got the highest dollar I possibly could, and we were losing every week. And like you just said, like bring stress home. If I'm losing, I take it to heart. I'm at home. I'm sad dogging around the missus, not playing with the kids because I'm filthy about what happened. Where if I come to Penrith, you're winning every week. You're walking around smiling. Life's good. People see you down the streets. They're like, hey, Peach, how are you? Yeah. You go up the Gold Coast and you lose. No one wants to talk to you. No one. The Tigers is the same. Like, it's a bit tough. So for me, I'd take less money to be at a stronger club because it's just better.
Yeah, like, better on the mental
better
health.
on the mind. Yeah. You're happier. You're playing in a good team. You might get better offers to go elsewhere, but take less to be at a better club because,
it's actually mad.
Interesting.
Yeah. Very interesting, eh? Like, I've never heard that before.
You don't know the inside. Like, it's the same with people with boxing. They ask me about it and like the insides of it and how it all works and stuff like that. So it's interesting, to hear.
Look at all them players that left Penrith. Like, like, I don't know, Burton was Origin. He went over there and struggled the last couple of years, and now they're starting to play a bit better.
They're playing good Bulldogs.
Players, so like.
But then you kind of think like it's a process. Like you might get this player, you might get that way. Do you think the coaches have a view, like have a plan on building a team and who they need?
Yeah,
and
they need
they're like, we'll get him, and then they
build around him.
So it's like trust the process of it, and then
there's a nucleus, so they'll have a certain amount of players that they keep that they want to build the team around. And then there's fill-in players, like when I come from Tigers to Penrith, kind of just fill in. So when people are in Origin, I do a job, try and get the win, like just enough so then the boys can come back and they're there for the grand final. Like that, Penrith have done it perfectly, the way they've set it up. They have people good enough for when all the boys go to Origin and on tour and all that, that they just do enough to keep them in the top 4. And when all the boys come back, they just finish the year off and they win 3 in a row.
And the playing style is different on your plays that you have,
yeah, definitely.
like again, I love footy. I love watching it and trying to work it out, but I'm like, you know, depending on who you got and how your wingers play and how your centers play and who your forwards are and how they are, is depending on, and how your 5'8" and halfback play and that. Like you got like the guys that the wingers who good jumpers, good in the air, and then so you're putting in bombs to the wing and like it all determines how you play. Yeah.
So our game plan would change every week.
Depending on who you're playing
depending
too.
on who we're playing, who's in, who's healthy, and then it changed from there. But like, not saying our wingers are small, like they're short, so our kicks would go to the back row or the centres or whatever.
Yeah.
Where other teams like Melbourne have Xavier Coates and Warbrick, so they kick into the wingers all the time.
Yeah, high.
It changes every time, and you can get technical as with it, but
And that's the same with boxing too. You know, they ask about like, you got your things that you do good, but then depending on who you're fighting, you change things around a little bit just to like.
What were you? You were.
So I'm southpaw. I'm left-handed. So that's a completely different thing.
Have you ever sparred a southpaw? G? And that was it. You get touched.
When
up
I first
so
did it,
easy,
you know,
bro.
I didn't know what I was.
Really, yeah, orthodox southpaw.
I'm off, so
A lot of people think, oh, this is my strong hand, so I'm going to use it heaps. And
I
that.
right left-handed and throw right-handed. What? So I don't know what I'm doing.
Hey.
What do they call it? Ambidextrous.
Ambidextrous. Yeah, my dad was that. But I'm left-handed, so only 10% of the world is left-handed. We move a different way and things are just different. Like, to break it down, right-handed people don't get much work in with left-handed, so the punches come from different directions. It's completely different, so it's an advantage in that way. So my main thing that I said was like, I just have to do what I do every day. You got to come up with a game plan to beat me.
Yeah, that's mad.
But then there's boxers that like go forward, and then there's the counter boxers, and like
I could do a little bit of all of it, man.
Yeah.
I could come forward. So my thing was my hand speed. Like, I'm real good.
Fast.
Single punches, like one-off punches, like slip counters and that. And I could crack a bit. Like, I'm not a thunderous puncher. Like, you know, I don't have like hand grenades or anything, but I could crack, and I got a good chin.
Would you change that style? Because you'd have like that boxing style, like that in and out, like you're saying counter, and then you rock someone, you just sit on your punches, turn into like a puncher.
So because I could do a bit of both. Like, I could come forward, I could stand in the pocket, I could move a little bit. So I just mixed it all
That's
up
mad.
usually. So, but you got some guys that are just full counter boxers moving away.
Yeah,
Like Mayweather was predominantly a counter puncher
shell
moving
up
away,
with the
Philly shell and
Yeah.
that. So
who's your favorite boxer now? Like to watch
now
right now, like
I like the southpaws. So I like Jai Apataya.
God.
I like Liam Paro.
Yeah.
I've worked.
Bro, he just
with
won
Liam.
the world title too. I watched that.
I've worked
Did you
with
see
Liam Paro a lot. Like I did a little bit of work with him when he was still amateur, and when he first turned pro, I done a bit of work with him and that.
Bro,
so, and
he's
we've
got
always been
engine.
We've always been we've always chatted,
Yeah, that's
always been
mad.
close. And that he's from far north Queensland. He's from up near there. So, and that's where I started boxing up there. So, you know, they're probably two of my favorites.
What about
are
you?
they Aussies? Well, I love Tank, little Tank. He's
Tank
a-
Davis,
it's
southpaw.
Javante.
He's a southpaw as well. I like Tank. Crawford.
Bro,
Bud Crawford, yeah.
Crawford's
tell you who I
also-
froth, and I still even when you hold pads for me, I think about my footwork and that is Vasil Lomachenko.
Lomachenko. So
The Matrix. Oh
so
my
the
gosh.
Olympics that I went to.
Was he there? Yeah, so the Olympics.
So the Olympics I went to in Beijing, I fought in the featherweight division. I lost to the eventual silver medalist, and the gold medalist was Lomachenko.
No
we
way.
fought in the same division. Yeah, we fought in the same division.
Bro, that's fucking insane.
yeah. So I never got to fight him.
Would you love to?
Yeah,
Bro, that'd been
I would have loved
Imagine
to
being
have
able to
fought him.
say,
Yeah,
I would
man.
have loved to fought him. So when the only fight he lost in his amateur career was at World Champs in Chicago, and I was at the World Champs. We were in the same division, and I lost to the Thailand fella, and I seen him lose. Like, I was there for that. And then they rematched. He drew him the first fight of the Olympics, the Russian. So the top two guys fought straight away, and he beat him there.
Isn't there some stories in like 400 something fights
Yeah,
and only
like-
two losses? or
No,
something?
one. He's
And that was
only
it. And
lost
didn't he
one
beat that
amateur.
guy like 6 times again or something?
He beat him before that, and
Yeah.
then he beat him, like lost, and then beat him
Yeah,
again.
because he was an older. He turned pro later on in his career.
Yeah, well, a lot of the guys that come from like you think about it, like to go to 2 Olympics, that's 8 years. You can only go to the Olympics when you're 18.
Yeah.
So if you've gone to 2 Olympics, that's 28 before you.
That's changed now
oh,
though.
26.
So you can.
So sorry, you could go at 17. You
Yeah.
could go at 17. They've changed it now. The youngest ever Olympic boxer ever in history to go is Jai Apataya. So, little fact, Jai Apataya is the youngest ever Olympic boxer to go. He made it by the cutoff date by 1 day. So he was only 17 when he went to the
I
Olympics.
remember it was big news, back in the day.
What weight class was he?
Heavyweight, no? Oh,
Nah,
cruiser.
No, there's no cruiser. I think he was light heavy. He was light heavy.
Yeah.
What weight's that? Like what?
81. In the amateurs, 81.
He
so
looks
he's 17.
big.
What's he
No,
fighting
but
now?
now he's cruiser.
Yep.
So he's like high 80s. I don't know. There's so many divisions in boxing.
But
and
what would he walk around at normally? Like
probably in the 90s.
But
Some people
strong.
carry a lot of weight and cut a lot of weight. Some people stay around their weight. Like
but he's ripped. Like where's he losing the weight from? Like
Training
does he have a
every
little
day, bro.
pouch? Sure.
some
weight.
some people can cut, man. Some
Yeah.
people cut a lot.
Have you ever had a dangerous cut?
I've lost like I religiously lose like 8 kilos. When I'm, this is the heaviest I've ever been in my life, and I'm like 76 kilos.
Fucking,
But-
must be nice.
Ask me if I've had a dangerous cut.
Have you had a dangerous cut?
Yeah, bro.
When? He just had PTSD. He's
Yeah.
like, you're gonna have to ask
So
me.
I had to fight at cruiser, so that's under 89, and I was walking around about 94 the day before.
What?
So I dropped all that. I was sitting
Well, he's
in
on
this
sauna and shit.
sitting in this sauna about to cry. I had to my
Wait,
missus
what? You were 94 the day before, and you cut to what?
89. So like 4.
Isn't that fucking
5.
dangerous?
4.
That's all right.
Yeah, but
in
you're
boxing.
but you're
Yeah,
carrying.
I was carrying
you're
pouch
carrying,
and everything.
Yeah.
and it's easy for big
Hey,
guys to.
not
Cody Walker says the pouch. Cody Walker goes,
hey,
keep the
nah,
pouch.
yeah,
Nah.
nah. And then I was in there about to cry. Mrs. rubbed me head, and I made the weight. Went in there and made it, and then I went back up to about 94 after dinner.
Cuz have you seen some of the weight cut videos of the UFC, like
Darren Till.
Cyborg,
Darren
and
Till,
all
I
that
love.
stuff?
And
The
Darren.
white weight cut that makes me sick. Like that's probably the 2 worst things in boxing is the weight cut, like being hungry, being like that. I hate that, and I hate sprints, bro. Like the long distance sprints, like the 400s and 800s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That like
Get your legs going and shit.
makes me. I get like sick.
Yeah, I get what you mean, bro. It freaks you out when you're watching these fuckers like all they're like hot towels and they're there just like zoning
Yeah.
out, and then someone's there like trying to keep them awake and shit. Get them
Yeah.
through it. Fucking dangerous.
As watching that, I'm like, surely you can do it. Like, stop carrying on. But being through it,
Stop carrying on.
So being through it, like now I watch like all the documentaries on YouTube and all
Yeah.
that, and they're doing it. I feel that bad for them. I know exactly what they're going through.
It gives me like makes me feel a certain way when I watch it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, because I know what that's like. I know having. So when you go to like other like tournaments overseas, like I fought in a tournament in Germany, and I flew in, made weight, like made close to weight, slept, woke up, weighed in. After my fight, I trained to get back down, fell asleep, woke up, weighed in, ate, fought, trained after my fight, woke up the next morning, weighed in. Like, so 3 days in a row, I had to weigh in
Is that because it's amateur?
because it's a 3-day tournament.
Yeah, tournament.
Yeah. And so you go to these tournaments. So the Olympics goes from the first day of the Olympics to the last day.
What,
so
weighing in?
So you only have to weigh. So you weigh in when you compete. They stagger it, right? But the boxing at the Olympics starts on the first day of competition and ends a lot. So if you win the gold medal, you're in there for the whole time. And then I've gone to all these countries. I've been to like 14 different countries, and everyone's like, "Oh, how was it?" I'm like, if you're sightseeing, you're out of the tournament, baby. You want to be in there till the last day. Like, like I said, I've been to these countries, never got to see much of it because I was like fighting and trying to stay in the tournament, not doing the.
And you've
sights
also
and
went
stuff.
to Commonwealth Games as well?
No, I've missed out on Commonwealth Games.
So what's the story? What's your story?
All right.
Because I remember you mentioned that training the other day.
Okay. So here we go. You said, do you have any story? All right, this is the story. So at 17 years old, we go down to Melbourne for the Commonwealth Games trials. So you have like a national trials where everyone weighs in. So I have a fight, like weigh in, have a fight, blah, blah, blah. Get through the finals, right? So me and another fighter from Queensland, we made the finals. And Trent Broadhurst is his name.
That name.
Trent, he fought Bivol
Yep.
for the world title.
Yeah.
Trent,
Yeah, that's
Trent's
right.
Trent's a gun.
Yeah.
Like, good mate of mine. So we're 17 years old. We're overweight. It's late. And I'm too stuffed. I can't train. I can't cut weight. I'm like, get on the thing looking at saunas. But this is like during the week, late at night. What saunas can we find? Someone found this one called Steamworks. So we're like, all right.
You ready? We ready?
You know about it. You know about Steamworks.
No.
So anyway.
Whoa.
So anyway. We go to Steamworks. We're 17 years old. Right. Going to Steamworks. We're walking up the stairs, right? All this video. You want an experience? I'll take you to heaven. So we're getting like walking up the stairs and we're like out of it, like going, oh, we just got to get this right. We'll pay like, this is a gentleman's steam. Like, yeah, it's a men's only one. Yeah. Go in there, pay our money. There's the stuff that you rub on your skin to make you sweat too.
Yeah.
So we're there putting our stuff in the lockers, rubbing stuff, and then I'm like, rub this stuff on my back. So
Hey, but you're dehydrated, tired. Imagine you just being.
So, like, we're putting our stuff in the lockers and I'm rubbing stuff on me and he's rubbing stuff on my back, I'm rubbing stuff. And then guys are walking past, looking at us funny. And we're like fresh-faced little 17-year-old rubbing stuff. One guy walks past, another guy walks past. Then the guy walks past with no clothes on. And then we look at each other and then kind of look around. We're in a gay steam room.
What? Wouldn't you have seen it when you're looking it up? Or do you just tired?
We weren't the ones that found it. Some of like one of the like chicks that come with us found it.
What did you do?
We're going to get the weight off, bro.
You in there talking all.
So I've grabbed him and I'm like, we're going to get this weight off. Stay with me.
Please.
Don't you leave me. And we're going to keep it PG in here, but there were some things going on. There was something. And I remember the trainer.
I would have put my clothes back on.
The trainer, we did it in our undies. I didn't go naked.
I would have been in the steam room
So
with full clothes.
when we realised, we ran out to the trainer and he looked at us and he's seen a ghost and he goes, I know. And I go, what do you mean? He goes, well, I was sitting here watching this show that was on the screen and suddenly the men started kissing. Then the guys that were watching it kind of ducked down behind the thing and like there were things going on in this steam room and in the hot tub and everything that we can't say. We don't want to get demonetized on here, but there were some things. There were some things, and being like I was a 18, 17-year-old young fella from the bush. Like I grew up in a small little town. I've never really been exposed to that, but.
Right.
I have nothing. Like I've got
Make
gay
a weight.
friends.
No.
I make weight.
Yeah.
But then I lost. I didn't make the comment. Then I didn't make it. I got beaten by a good friend of mine, Luke Jackson.
Because you went in the fight with trauma.
But that was one of the moments in my boxing career that looking back on it, it's a funny moment and just to put it out there, I have nothing against and everyone could do. Listen, each to their own. ELE, everyone love everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone love everyone. But
Don't
yeah,
cancel
that
us.
was at 17 years old. That certainly opened my eyes. I tried to keep them closed when I was in there, but
That's so fucking
opened
good,
my
bro.
eyes to some things that were going on. But yeah, that's the story.
That's all time.
So you just got the businesses post boxing career now, and you're just trying to get that stuff going.
Yeah, got the businesses, got the scaffolding company. I dabble in art.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So wait, have you designed the Olympic stuff?
Yeah, so they used it for the last Olympics in Tokyo, but they only had a couple of pieces. But this Olympics, it's on nearly everything. The whole
So
Olympic.
that's your design.
That's my design. If you go into Rebel Sports, they have it up there, and you watch the Olympics, you'll see them all wearing the design that I did.
mad.
So I painted. And painting was not something that I had in my life. Like I never done it before. It was something that I got into, sort of a mental health thing, and it's a crazy story about how I got into it. And
Were you going to elaborate? Can you elaborate?
yeah,
We've got enough time.
we
Yeah.
do.
We do.
So I was going through mental health stuff. I was going
Yeah.
through a bit of stuff. You
Yeah.
know, I wasn't boxing at that time. I was a bit lost, and
Yeah.
I watch a lot of Joe Rogan. So I was watching Joe Rogan, and I seen him talking about DMT.
Yeah. Right.
Seen him talking about DMT.
Mike Tyson's.
Tyson talks about it.
Is that the toad?
That's 5-MeO DMT. That's there's different types of it. So, but yeah, it's the same sort of thing. They get a toad it looks like a cane toad, and they squeeze its glands and squirt it onto glass, and then let it dry, and then they scrape it up and smoke it, and it's like it's the most powerful hallucinogenic drug. Look, we call it drugs. In other countries, it's called medicines. So ayahuasca, you heard
Yeah,
the
ayahuasca, yeah.
where they go to South America and that.
Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah,
one of the best quarterbacks in the world. He went and did it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here we call it a drug. Over there they call it a medicine. It's a medicine. So I tried it, and 3 weeks later I started painting. Never painted before in my life, and had crazy experiences on
What
it.
was one of your intense experiences in that? I'd like to
You
know.
feel you die. You feel yourself
because you
die.
feel apparently your ego dies, right?
Would they call it an ego
Ego
death?
death,
But
yeah.
it's you feel yourself like let go, and like you breathe out and your soul leaves your body.
What?
Yeah. And then when you leave, when you let go of it, you just hit these portals, man. Have you watched Doctor Strange?
Yeah.
You know the thing where she's like, open your mind, and
Yeah.
she pushes on.
And it goes.
Yeah, and then he goes out into all
Yeah.
these different worlds and stuff. It's like that, but 100 times more intense.
That shit scares me, AG.
It's the most scariest experience of my life, but it's also the most profound experience.
So you reckon that did help your mental health?
Yeah, at that like it made, like, I'm not religious and I never was, but it made me believe in something other than this world.
That's mad.
It's crazy. It's but if I could have my time back now, I've only ever done it by myself, in my own garage by myself, like with no one kind of sitting and no one to kind of like debrief with, like so now they're doing psilocybin, like magic mushroom
Mushrooms.
things with people, and you have a psychologist and you have people there and you talk through your traumas, because you know I've got past traumas from my life and things, and I never kind of really debriefed and addressed things. And so if I could have it back now, I kind of would have done it a little bit differently. But I just kind of, the ADHD in me was like, don't be a bitch.
Yeah.
Don't be a bitch. Let's go. So yeah, I went all out with it and kind of fried myself there for a bit and found myself. But now I'm like, I don't touch, like I was never a big drinker, partied a little bit, did a little bit of stuff here and there as I grow up, and but now I'm like, you know, don't drink, don't touch anything.
No, that's
and
good, bro.
like, and I don't see myself going back to, I don't feel a need or a want that I need to go back and do anything like that again, because I've done it and I got out what I got out from it. So,
Bro, that's insane.
but yeah, never painted
intense,
before in my life,
right.
and I had like crazy visions, man. I had like an Aboriginal one too. Like, like
Talk us about it.
I was in this, like one of them, I fell through this portal and I fell into like a red desert, and it looked like Australia, like a red desert. And I'm looking around and I see this Aboriginal elder sitting down, and then the back of a boy, like the back view of him. And I could see this boy talking to this Aboriginal elder, and he's talking in language. And I'm going to myself, I'm like, oh man, I don't understand what they're saying. Like I can't, they're speaking in language I don't know. And then the boy, the elder, like tipped sand out of his hand and made it like float around and stuff, like, and then he's teaching the boy, and then he goes like this with his fingers and clicks and lights a fire and then weaves it through his fingers, and he's teaching this kid like magic and all this stuff.
When you talk, sorry, keep going.
And then I couldn't see this boy's face, right? And I'm like, why can't I see his face? And then all of a sudden, and when you're there, you get like little messages and stuff. And all of a sudden it dawned on me, I'm like, you can't see this boy's face because that boy is you in a past life. Like that was you learning from your elders. Like that's another version of you that lived before. And you couldn't see his face because his face is your face.
But this is what, there's got to be something, because you wanted to start a segment about this kind of stuff, like conspiracy and like.
I love, and
all
by the
this,
way,
right.
Conspiracies is my jam.
So we need a part two to this episode.
I love
but
conspiracies.
like, bro, you just said, right, because I'm a religious man. I've been brought up religiously and also spiritual, right?
Yeah.
If your mind can come up something like that, there has to be something else. Even it's religion or spirituality or like even like your indigenous backgrounds, like there's got to be something.
So in my head, I've done DMT a lot, like I've done it a fair few times, and in my head, one of the first times when I was doing it, I go, you have to be somewhere else, because the things that you are seeing and experiencing, they don't exist in this world. Like shapes and color. So color, right? So if you're trying to explain a color to someone, like that blue there, right? You go, oh, it's kind of like a metallic-y, bluey sort of thing. And your mind references it and you're like, okay, and it comes up with a picture. How do you explain a color that doesn't exist in this world? You have no reference for it. So you can't explain it. And that's like the shapes that you see in the things and the way the world. So it's like, where are you pulling this from? Because there's no reference
That's
to
what
it.
I'm saying. It's got to
So
be.
there's no reference to these colors and these shapes and the way things move and the things that you see. You've never seen them before. So where is it? I'm like, in my head, I'm like, this has got to be, you can't be experiencing this in your mind because this stuff does not exist. You can't be pulling this from somewhere because you've never seen this before. You've never seen these colors. You've never seen these shapes. I remember seeing like a being. I was like looking out on the horizon and I seen this being, right? And he had like universe, like all universes in his body. What? And he was so big that, like, look out to the ocean. He was so big that his waist disappeared behind the horizon and his shoulders were so high in the sky that you couldn't see his head or face. And it feel like it's the biggest thing that I've ever seen in my life. Like it was like, to kind of, you can't even begin to understand it. Like it was so huge, this being. And then they talk to you, but they don't talk to you, and they talk to you in your mind. Like it's weird. Like there's things, and you ask questions without asking.
So do you reckon
questions.
like talking about mental health and stuff, do you reckon that is a major cure? Like obviously they're dabbling with psilocybin and stuff like that. Do you reckon that's the future, like DMT and stuff like that, to sort mental health or help people with even?
I think so. I think what we've been doing now ain't working.
Well, yeah, because a lot of drugs dumb us down and
pushing the medication
they're
that
no
they
good,
have
mate.
down your throat and that. I think you got to address the issues, not push them down inside and that.
100%.
And I'm one to talk about it like this, but when it comes to myself, like I still go through ups and downs. Like I still go through my stuff now, and I feel shit for no reason. Like, what's wrong? My missus asked me, why you feel? Like, I don't know. I'm just down today, and I don't know why. And after I go through it, I tell my mates, I'm like, oh fuck, sorry, I haven't chatted. Like I just been like, why didn't you say something? I'm like, I don't know. Like it's so
It's this guy
hard.
as well.
Yeah.
I'm the same as well, but like I think that's a men. We're men of men. Like that's us. We
Yeah.
just try to be. It's a, like
want to deal with the shit.
you're
by
trying to try and
ourselves.
sort it out
Yeah.
yourselves, but sometimes you can't.
But I don't even know how to start the discussion. Like, and my missus is like, oh, why didn't you do something before you got here? I'm like, I don't even know the signs. Like, I don't even know that I'm getting there. I'm just, all of a sudden, I'm there. And then I only realize it out the back of it. When I'm out the back, I'm like, oh, yeah, it was this, it was that and that. But when you, and I guess it's like us as men, we're seen as the workhorses. We just got to go. We just got to keep going.
Can't
You
be
got to,
vulnerable.
you can't show weakness because, you know, your family's relying on you and people are looking at you.
Well, that's how this guy. I know this guy does it.
And when community's looking at you too, you know, people are looking at you like, I don't want to be weak for that. Like I'm got to be, and you know, suicide and all that stuff is a massive part of in our communities. You know what I mean?
Mainly men too, bro. It's a sad
Mainly
thing.
men, yeah. And you know, it's talking about it now. Hopefully, it opens up. Like you can be successful NRL player, successful boxer, have your family and that, but you can still feel shit. You can still feel down. And you know what? It doesn't have to be a reason. You can just, the weight of the world sometimes. And I think sometimes the things that we're seeing, you know, seeing all the stuff that's going on overseas and having the pressure of like society and, you know, where we're going to be, like what's going to happen, like, are we going to like war? Are we going to be conscripted into war? Like, well, all those things that are going on, our external pressures just build up.
Do you know what comes back to that, bro? And it's what the my bro here, Peachy, just said. It's like, you know what fucking gets rid of all that? And you're 100% right, bro. And you're 100% correct. Is just be present. The Cles thing. Because I've heard it before, bro. I've read it in books. There's nothing more powerful than being present and being detached.
I know. We look too
But
much.
it's so
of
hard to.
It is too, and I think, when my missus, I say it to my missus too. It's like, just be present. We're all good. Everything's good now. Like the kids are healthy. We got food in the fridge. We got a roof over our heads. And you look at some other countries and what's going on there. It's like a nightmare. It's like your worst nightmare, bro. And then you look at what's going on. Like, man, I work but don't work.
Yeah.
I got cash. Like I'm not a millionaire, but like, look, if I want to go, I can. Food, access to food at all times, access to water at all times. You know what I mean? Some people don't even know when they're going to eat. And it is crazy, you know, but in hindsight, you know, when you're going through them things and that, you're just so focused on.
What are your thoughts on mental health and all that stuff, bro? Have you had your fair share?
I had a fair share and had people kind of help us along that way with footy, how to deal with things, but everyone's fighting their own battles and you got to deal with it your own way. So, and until someone, I suppose, wants to get help, they're not going to get it.
I 100% agree.
Can lead a horse to water sort of thing.
Yeah.
What was it Geezer said the other day? You can lead a horse to water, but a pencil must be lead. That was a good one.
Hey,
My dad said that too. That's the other day.
you know another good saying was not related to that, but you know that like the talent, like your master of none, man of many talents. What's that?
Jack of all trades, master
Jack
of none.
of all trades, master of none.
That's
Yeah.
my whole career. That's me.
Jack of all, but listen to
Me
this:
too. I'm doing everything.
Jack of all trades, master of none. But a master of some is better than a master of none.
Whoa, shit, clip it. That's gone.
Yeah,
Bro, so me and Peach are gonna do bro battles with you, obviously, like come sparring and that, but you're retired. Hey, Peach, he's retired now, so he doesn't want to spar us. But we want to come down to the gym, brother. Showtime Academy. That's the gym.
Showtime Fighters Academy
Yep,
down in Warrington.
We'd love to have a session there and just showcase the gym, put us through a session. I reckon that's the go, bro. But we'll do that.
I hope you've got something out of that. There's some deep shit in there and some crazy ass shit. But it was awesome.
What a chat.
Thanks for coming
Thank
on,
you
brother.
so much, brother.
And hopefully we
Appreciate
get
it.
on. Let's
Oh, we gotta do it again. We gotta
man.
do it again.
We're local. I'm a Penrith local, bro. I'm just around the corner.
We got to get the conspiracy chat, one of those guys.
You want to hear my one? Just a little one I always, they already know. My undie one.
An undie
Yeah,
conspiracy.
go. You'd like that because he's a breeder.
So I used to wear undies.
Hey,
I had two
okay.
girls.
Yeah.
Then I freeballed. Nathan Peets had boys at the time and he used to freeball.
Yeah.
So then I freeballed for 12 months, punched out a boy. I never wore undies ever since. Now I've got another boy. So letting them hang. You can have
And you
boys.
going again?
Oh, us misses. That's number
She's
4.
pregnant
I'd love
now.
to go again, but she hates it.
She
She can't go through it again. It's too hard on the body. We'll
So
see.
I-
I'll give it 2 years or something. I'll give it 12 months.
So I had a girl and 4 boys. And after my second boy, an absolute nutter, I was like, girl, we got to get another girl, even a boy. And I was like, nah. When Mrs. like, nah, you can't get 4 boys in a row. Had another boy. I'm like, nah, done. Sack it. No more. I'm done.
Cut 'em off.
Five. I got girl, 4 boys. I'm done. We had a oopsie.
Yep.
Little girl. She's the best
Oh,
ever.
bless.
So,
That's it. You're
That's
the best
6.
of both worlds.
and that 6 in the Kia Carnival is full.
It's full.
It's full.
Snip.
I watched something the other day that says after
Lord.
the snip that your balls can ache for like ever. Achy balls.
Achy balls.
My dad got
Achy
the snip. He hated it.
Yeah,
He says, I fucking wish I never done that.
achy balls.
Get rid of the pain and hope the swelling stays.
Why you got big balls? I was selling
Where was that girl?
I was selling the other thing, not my balls. But yeah, but listen, I'd love to do it again, man.
Let's do it, bro.
Have a yarn.
Nah, that was fun.
Maybe we can get together for number
3.
3.
3.
the
Hopefully
state
this
origin
guy's in
3.
the state. That'll be gone. Got to get J Mac on the panel too, the Queenslander. So it's 2v2s.
Yeah, I can't be one out.
Nah,
bruh.
we've got it right here. But yeah,
But
thank
if
you.
If you're here,
I'm moving Queensland, so I'm jumping on over.
Whoa.
does that mean?
So that means my little fella, if he plays footy growing up in Queensland, he'll be a Queenslander.
So what's the cutoff that you have to play? Because I'm trying to work this
So
out.
from
for my
16, if you play, so your first game is at 16 is in Queensland, you're a Queenslander.
boys. Ah, sweet. So I gotta move my boy up there for 16 to have, because my second boy is me and him are the only Queenslanders in the family. He was born up on the sunny coast, up in Nambour.
Yeah.
So we go for Queensland. He left the room last night about 15 minutes in, was like gone.
Crying.
Nah, he's gone on his phone.
Yeah.
So,
Nah.
but anyway,
Yeah,
thanks
we'll
for
do it
having
again.
us,
Paul
boys.
Fleming, thank you,
Good
brother.
yarn.
Appreciate ya.
Cheers.
Shot, brother.